You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
It's Sunday in New York, and it is time for baseball as Hyundai presents the Sunday Game of the Week. It's the New York Yankees against the Detroit Tigers in the rubber game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball. Along with Ken Singleton, I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees took the first game on Friday, and then the Tigers yesterday won by a score of 9-3. Now, for the rubber game, we have a good pitching matchup, at least on paper, two veterans who have done it many times before. So let's take a look at the New York Lottery pitching matchup. In this one, it's going to be Justin Verlander, 12-8, 3.50, against Andy Pettitte, 7-9, 4.71. And Kenny, give me some knowledge about these two.
Well, Andy Pettitte's been struggling of late. He's coming up and starting Chicago against the White Sox, in which he tied a season high in allowing 7 runs and 11 hits. It seems that everything the White Sox touched with the bats fell in for base hits against Andy Pettitte. He lasted just 2 2/3 innings. The Yankees lost the game by a score of 8-1. Andy's looking for a bounce back this afternoon. On the other hand, Justin Verlander has bounced back. He had lost 2 in a row. Now he has won 2 in a row. His last start against the Cleveland Indians in Cleveland on this road trip, he was outstanding. Crackling curveball, fastball upwards of 100 miles an hour.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Andy Pettitte deals with this Tiger lineup, especially the top of it. They have been money over the first 2 games. How do you stop them? We'll take a look with Kenny when we return right here on Yes. The top of the Tiger order has certainly hurt the Yankees. Look at Austin Jackson, 6 for 10 in this series alone. Go back a little bit more. Cabrera, 7 for 17. Last 4 games, 3 homers and 9 ribbies. And Torrey Hunter yesterday, 3 for 4, a home run and 4 runs batted in.
Well, the Yankees are looking for ways to slow these guys down, Michael. The fact is that the Tigers are the top hitting team, and they're hitting .281 as a team. Even better with runners in scoring position, .291.
It's amazing, and the top of the order is hard for any pitcher to navigate, and the Yankees haven't been able to do it.
They haven't been able to do it, and you go back to yesterday's ball game with the Tigers and some home runs. They hit 3 in the game. Austin Jackson, well, he delivers his 9th of the year. That was off Bill Hughes into the seats, 1 of 2 home runs that Hughes gave up. This is the pitch to Jabba Chamberlain, gave up a 3-run homer to Torrey Hunter, the veteran, with his 13th home run of the year. That's the one that really broke the game open. But earlier in the game, this is the one that was most impressive to me. This pitch almost hit Miguel Cabrera. Instead, he hits it into the seats. His 35th home run of the year, his 4th 35th home run or more season with the Detroit Tigers.
Well, now Andy Pettitte has to solve those problems. When we come back, lineups. First pitch baseball, Yankees and the Tigers. Next on Yes, you can count down that number on the left, and we'll be in a commercial in that time. Kia Optima Limited Midsize Sedan. Elegance, performance, technology. By Centerlight Healthcare. Centerlight, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2013 Pilot. All right, so a view from above of Yankee Stadium on 161st Street and River Avenue. And there is Andy Pettitte about to take his warm-ups. And now let's take a look at the Tigers starting lineup that he has to navigate. It's a tough one. They can score, especially the top of the order as we have detailed. Austin Jackson in center field has had a great series. He'll lead off, batting second. Playing right field, Torrey Hunter. Miguel Cabrera at third base will bat third. Cleaning up, first baseman Prince Fielder. Victor Martinez, the DH, bats fifth. Batting sixth, the left fielder Matt Tuiasosopo. The second baseman Hernan Perez will bat seventh. Batting eighth and catching Brian Pena. And Jose Iglesias, the shortstop, will bat ninth.
Veteran Andy Pettitte on the mound this afternoon. Will face Austin Jackson in just a moment. These are the numbers for Andy's season, and he's trying to work his way back to 500. He's made 20 previous starts, 7-9, and 84 strikeouts, 120 in the third innings. Let's check out our pitcher scouting report, brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Slow starts. Andy Pettitte, his last 7 starts, has given up at least 1 run in the first inning. And interesting enough, in the 20 starts he's made this year, the first batter of the game has 10 hits and 1 walk. His last win, July 11th, and if he wins today, he will tie Hall of Famer Carl Hubbell on the all-time list with 253 wins.
So the Yankees come in today with a 58-57 record, and Detroit at 69-46. So this is the rubber game. Yankees won Friday, the Tigers yesterday. Jackson's ready, Pettitte's ready, and let's do it here in the Bronx. And the first pitch is a strike, and we are underway.
Michael, you're talking about slowing these guys down. Austin Jackson has been a catalyst, 6 for 10. As you can see, there's only 1 single in there. 3 doubles, a triple, and a home run. 5 of his 6 hits in this series. He's scored 5 times.
So the count now 1-2. The 1-2. Driven out to right field. Ichiro back, and he'll make the play on the track for the first out. Let's check out the Yankee defense presented by Geico. Since we started with Suzuki, we'll start right this time. Ichiro, Gardner, Soriano, right to left. Let's go left to right in the infield. Rodriguez, Nunez, Cano, and Overbay. Chris Stewart behind the plate, and the veteran, Andrew Eugene Pettitte, is on the mound. Here's Torrey Hunter. 1-0.
Hunter's first year in Detroit has been a good one. Hitting .312. He's in the top 10 in hitting in the American League.
Lined into right field, a base hit. Ichiro thought about trying to get him at first, and Hunter knew that he might, so he ran right through the bag. Now staring out at Ichiro as if to say, really?
2 veteran players squaring off right there, and of course Hunter's a right fielder. I wonder if he's thrown anybody out at first. I'm sure Ichiro has done it somewhere along the line. If you don't hustle, Ichiro's ready. And you see Hunter running through the bag, and then he's going to stare out. Hey, what's the deal? I thought you and me were tight.
Here's Miguel Cabrera. 8-game hitting streak, 12 for 30. Each number that we can give you on Cabrera really is breathtaking. That's how good of a player and a hitter he is. If the season ended today, those would be awesome numbers.
On base percentage, .455, leads the American League in hitting against lefties, over 400, .419. Kind of running out of superlatives for this guy. Yesterday hit his 35th home run in the year. It's 4th time he's hit at least 35 or more for the Tigers. Only Hank Greenberg, the Hall of Famer, has had more 35 home run seasons for the Tigers. He's had 5 of them. He can work on that next year.
Hip is bothering him. Stomach muscles bothering him. Knee bothering him. No pitcher seems to be bothering him as he lines that one foul.
As you can see, after he lines, he's limping back to the batter's box. As Michael detailed, he's got all these issues working, but it seems his upper body's fine. As you detailed yesterday, Michael, a man with a plan when he steps into the batter's box. And if you throw it where he's looking, and this is what he's done against Andy Pettitte.
Well, the thing that really jumped out at me is when Girardi said he changes his approach according to the ballpark in which he's playing. And I said to Joe, I said, is that unusual? He said, hardly anyone ever does that. He said, you are the hitter you are, but this guy is so good. If it's a short right field, he's going to swing and go to right field. 3-2 is not made as they chase Hunter back. Well, likes hitting here. 15 games at the new yard. 404, 9 homers, and 20 ribbies. Foul back.
Hunter was on the move. And the way Cabrera is running, if he hits a ground ball at any one of the Yankee infielders, it's going to be a double play at this point. So one way to try and stay out of the double play and give Prince Fielder a chance here in the first inning is to have Hunter on the move.
Just missed outside. So Cabrera will walk. Hunter moves to second. You know, Kenny told you about Andy's recent struggles in the first inning, and with this lineup, the top 5, you struggle in the first inning, you're going to blink, you're going to be down by a lot.
No.
Here's Prince Fielder. Yankees baseball is available in Spanish by hitting the SAP button on your remote. SAP is brought to you by Infinity.
Fielder, of course, a top run producer, but he does lead the league. He's tied for the league lead in grounding into double plays. He and Albert Pujols, who won't ground in anymore for a while, 18 of them. And that used to be a staple of Andy Pettitte's, the ability to get the double play and get out of a jam. It's been a little more elusive for Andy this year.
1-1. Check the swing, and the third base umpire, Jerry Neal, said he went around. Fielder staring there and go, really?
Let's see what we say at home here. Do we say really?
I said really.
I say really.
He did not go.
No, he did not.
Grounded foul. Veteran manager Jim Leyland trying to get back to the World Series with the Tigers and win it Mark Teixeira's missed most of this season. Surgically repaired right wrist. Andy checks back Hunter.
For some reason this year, as we mentioned, Andy struggled his first time through the order. Opponents are hitting 341. It drops after that. He seems to settle in after the first inning or so.
Count 2-2. Paul Emmel, the home plate ump.
And with a lot of hitters, when it's left on left, you feel the pitcher has advantage. But Prince Fielder hits pretty well against left-handed pitching. He's up a 287 hitter. And of course, he's got all kinds of power.
Real cat and mouse game going on. Andy's taking a long time between pitches, and now Fielder steps out.
It's a matter of who's dictating the pace of this at bat. Is it the hitter or is it going to be the pitcher?
Runner goes from second, and the pitch is low, and Torrey Hunter steals third.
Oh, and Hunter moving over to third base with a stolen base, just his third of the year, and you can figure he's not going to be stealing as many bases as he used to with Cabrera and Fielder behind him. But he wants to get over the third with one out, and he does so. Cabrera is not running well, so he hangs out at first. The bad news is a fly ball will score a run. The good news is there's still a double play in order here if you can get a ground ball.
Payoff. Lined into center field. It's a base hit for Fielder. Hunter will score. Moving to second, Cabrera. Fielder picks up a ribby. 1-0 Tigers.
Fielder continues to hit left-handed pitching well. He's done it his whole career. And Andy Pettitte now has given up a run in the first inning in 8 consecutive starts. It's a breaking ball that kind of hangs in the middle. And Fielder gets to it, hits it right back through the middle for a base hit. And the Tigers are out in front. And Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, is out at the mound. I think the Yankees have seen this before. 8 consecutive starts now that Pettitte's allowed a run in the first inning, and maybe trying to slow things down here before they get too far out of hand.
Yankees worried a little bit about maybe another short outing. They called up another relief pitcher. Dylan Betances came up, and they sent down David Adams. So one more man in the bullpen, which has been overtaxed with short outings by starters.
Yesterday, the Yankees used 3 pitchers out of the pen. In the open game of the series, they used 4 pitchers out of the bullpen.
Martinez swings and misses. Switch hitter batting from the right side.
One of the luxuries that Jim Leyland has as his designated hitter's primary DH is Victor Martinez, a switch hitter. So he can just pencil him in on an everyday basis, not worry so much about the matchups.
Here's the roster move that we talked about to bolster the bullpen. Betances, drafted as a starter, has been transitioned to the bullpen. He's done a very nice job out of the bullpen. Throws very hard coming out of the bullpen in relief. The 1-1. Now, not having Martinez last year actually in a perverse way helped the Tigers, because he got injured early during the offseason, and then they sprung for a 9-year contract for Fielder. They never would have signed Fielder if Martinez didn't get hurt. And they still did a great job last year going to the World Series and losing, and now they have Martinez back and Fielder. Andy really laboring right now in the count 3-1. 3-2.
We told you that Fielder had grounded into 18 double plays. Victor Martinez, there's Tuiasosopo on deck, has grounded into 16 of them. So a lot of that is caused by these guys hit the ball hard.
Line drive, base hit to left field. Going to be tough to score. Cabrera takes it base to base. Soriano gets it in. And now the bases are loaded. Still one out.
Martinez, man, that pitch is up in the zone, up where he can get to it, breaking ball, and it's twice this inning that base hits have come on sort of hanging breaking balls for Andy Pettitte. As Victor Martinez has been one of the hottest hitters in the game over the last few months, delivers yet another hit.
So the base is loaded for Tuiasosopo. There's a strike. Remember, you're opposing Verlander today. You can't fall that far behind. No one up in the Yankee bullpen.
Tuiasosopo gets to play against left-handers. A few years back, 2008, his first major league hit was off Andy Pettitte while Tuiasosopo was playing for the Seattle Mariners. Hit a double to right field.
One. Grounded to third. Alex steps on third for one. Over to first. It's a double play. And that is going to do it in the first inning. 1 run, 3 hits. 2 men left on base. Andy needed this, and he got it. Tigers won, and the Yankees coming to bat. Get 1 run in the top of the first inning. Now the Yankees will take their turn against Justin Verlander, and we'll take a look at the Yankees starting lineup presented by Lexus. That man, Brett Gardner, in center field will lead off. Batting second, playing right field, Ichiro Suzuki. Robinson Cano, the second baseman, will hit third. Cleaning up third baseman, Alex Rodriguez. Lyle Overbay at first base will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing left field, Alfonso Soriano. Curtis Granderson, the DH, will bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, Eduardo Nunez. Chris Stewart will catch, and he is going bat ninth.
And they will face Justin Verlander, who has had some struggles this year, but his overall record, I guess everybody would take. He is 12-8 this year with a 3.50. He's given up just about a hit per inning. 145 strikeouts places him in the top 10. Let's check out our pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. And he was Rookie of the Year in 2006, MVP and Cy Young Award winner in 2011, and only one other pitcher in history has done that. That's Don Newcomb. He did it for the Brooklyn Dodgers way back in the 50s. And Michael and I had the pleasure of meeting Don Newcomb in L.A. We talked to him for a while.
Nice man.
Yes, he is. He runs the community outreach program for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
A 1-0.
So you're thinking of if you make a pitcher a #1 draft pick, this is what you want him to turn out to be: Rookie of the Year, an MVP, and a Cy Young Award winner.
I think you'll take that. High pop up, shallow right center. Torrey Hunter will make the play. Let's take a look at the Tigers defense, which is presented by Geico. We'll start with Hunter because he just caught that one. So right to left, Hunter, Jackson, and Tuiasa Sopo will go third to first in the infield. Cabrera, Iglesias, Perez, and Fielder. And Pena behind the plate. Verlander is on the mound. Here's Ichiro, 7 hits shy of 4,000 between Japan and the majors, and he fouls that one back. Average at 282. He's had 13 hits in his last 32 at-bats. Really swinging the bat well.
Yeah, I'm watching Cabrera at third, and it's obvious he's struggling. I would think that somebody would try and lay down a butt in his direction if he could.
Ground ball to Perez. 2 outs. Well, let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 78 degrees, 37% humidity. The wind is 6 miles per hour. Increasing clouds in the forecast, but there's no chance of rain. Before each first at bat, Cano has to hit the shin guard of the catcher and the home plate umpire, so he gets that done. Foul back. One thing you'll see about Verlander is that his velocity goes up as the game goes on. It's almost like he's holding something in reserve. And you'll see him 91, 92 early. And then by the 8th inning, he's throwing 97, 98. Usually it's the other way around with some pitchers.
It's almost like he smells the finish line.
Time for the MetLife I Can Do This stat of the game. His average fastball in his last start was 96.1 miles per hour. And that's the highest he's had since September of last year. So if his average is 96.1, you know he was clipping 98 at times.
Well, he hit 100 in a couple of times in a game against Cleveland. And the thing about it, he hadn't been throwing all that hard, and he and the pitching coach Jeff Jones went in and checked some video, and found out his mechanics were slightly off. You know, it's like fine-tuning a car. You want everything to be clicking on all cylinders, and they got it done, and his velocity returned against Cleveland.
There's 94. It's always a good idea to try to get him early. A lot of veteran pitchers are like that when they're trying to find their way and what's working that day. You can get him early. And there's his average velocity. In 2010, it was 95.5, then 95, 94.7, and down to 93.9 this year, but we told you what it was last start.
I don't see any 98.7.
No.
Sometimes you get that out of some of the relievers who only have to come in for 1 inning. As you were saying, a starter somehow has to pace himself during the course of the game.
2-2. Driven to right field. Hunter is there, and that'll do it. 1-2-3 inning against Verlander. We played 1 at the stadium. Detroit won. The Yankees nothing on yes. what did you think of yesterday's hidden ball trick by the Rays? Brian Brown, 12. It was a good play by the Rays, but a bad play by Uribe. Base runners should always be aware of where the ball is. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going. We'll show you the play in just a moment, which is a lost art in baseball. Hernan Perez takes inside from Andy. 1-0 Tigers.
Perez looking for his first hit of the series. He's 0 for 8.
There's a strike.
Now we're talking about that play. It was obvious the Rays have kind of worked on this before.
There's a bunt. Back to Pettit. Why don't we take a look at how it went down? It was a fly ball to the outfield. So a runner tags at third and scores. The bases were loaded.
Here's Uribe at second. He's going to tag and move over to third base as you watch the run scored. All runners move up.
So then Loney cuts the ball off, flips it to the shortstop, who then flips it to Longoria as Uribe's head is down. Then Uribe steps off the bag for a second. Longoria then tags him. And Angel Hernandez knew he had the ball, called him out right away. And the hidden ball trick. Now, a couple of people at fault there. Uribe, Tim Wallach, the third base coach, has to see. And Uribe didn't even know what was going on. He didn't have that much separation from the bag.
No, they're just enough to be called out. And Angel Hernandez knew where the ball was, the third base umpire. And you can see third baseman standing, Longoria standing right behind him.
Now, a guy who used to do that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Gene Michael, Yankees special assistant in the front office, and when he played shortstop for the Yankees, he always pulled the hidden ball trick on teams. But the key to that is the pitcher can't be standing on the mound.
No, he can't be on the rubber.
Can't be on the rubber. He could be tying his shoes like on the dirt of the mound. But he can't be atop the rubber, because then it would be a balk if you're standing atop the rubber without a ball.
It's almost like the pitcher has to act like he has the ball, but he can't be in contact with the rubber, or else it's going to be a balk. That'd be deceiving the runner.
I think it's great. And
I think it is too.
I think teams should practice stuff like that. I mean, that could be. They ended up losing. The Rays lost. Nobody beats the Dodgers anymore. But
could have been worse.
Grab it out. You know, it could have been worse.
Yeah.
Line drive, base hit. That goes into the corner. Played out there by Ichiro. He fires to second, and Pena's in there with a double. And you know what else is a lost art, Kenny? And I'm sure you've noticed it. And I was surprised in Chicago when the White Sox actually did it. Teams don't take infield practice anymore.
That is Robin Ventura.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the manager usually calls that. And some teams will do it maybe the first game of the series. I saw that in Cleveland. And, you know, nowadays when I see a team taking infield, I get amazed to see it. And teams used to do it every day. That was a staple of getting ready for the game. Infield practice.
I think that's where you could work on funky plays like that too. But I think that a lot of managers think the long grind of the season is better that the players are in the air-conditioned clubhouse and doing the infield. The 0-1. Grounded and grabbed there by A-Rod. And he just gets the hustle of Iglesias for the second out.
Now, usually the hidden ball trick, Michael, is when there's they have a meeting at the mound.
Right.
And the pitcher actually slips the ball to one of the infielders who says, I think this guy's not paying attention at the bag. We'll see what can happen. Just don't step on the rubber. So then the meeting breaks up. The infielder, and some infielders are as tricky. They go say, let me knock the dirt off the bag. Say it to the runner so he'll step off.
Wow.
And then you tag him and he's out.
And you have to alert the umpire so he knows you have the ball.
Well, you know, you can alert him after you have the ball. You can show it to him. I've just tagged this guy out.
There's Austin Jackson. You can't do it too often because then teams will be anchored to the bag.
Well, you know, that's it. That's the one time it's going to work for the Rays this year. Did you see after the game the picture. I saw it online. Adrian Gonzalez. Remember, the Dodgers won the game. So Adrian Gonzalez handed a base to Juan Uribe with a shoe taped onto the base. It was all in fun, except Uribe was not smiling as Gonzalez was cracking up, handing him this base.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, well, the way the Dodgers are going now, they're having big time fun.
Count 3-1 to Austin Jackson.
It seems like Jackson's hitting like every other inning in this series.
Not a good sign.
No, because he continues to get on base, although Andy got him to fly out the first time to Ichiro in the first inning.
And he's on base with a walk. Well, they're doing with Andy what they did with Hughes yesterday. 45 pitches, and it's the second inning, and you're not going to be pitching in the 6th and the 7th if you've got 50 pitches in the first 2 innings.
So he talked about the top 3 hitters. Jackson has a 6-game hitting streak. Hunter now has a 4-game hitting streak. Cabrera's got an 8-game hitting streak. So these guys at the top are setting the tone.
Grounded to second. Canoa's there. He'll get Hunter, and that will do it. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We're going to go to the bottom of the second. A-Rod leads off. The Yankees finished their homestand against the Angels. The first 18,000 guests, 14 and younger, receive a Mariano Rivera poster courtesy of Catch 24 Advertising. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. A-Rod here is his usual mixture of booze and cheers as he digs in. 3 for 15 since coming back. All 3 singles. He did not play yesterday Short turnaround, day game after night game. Hit a couple out during BP. And there's a drive to left field. Tuiasa Sopo on the track, at the wall, see ya! A home run for Alex Rodriguez, and the Yankees have tied the game at 1. His 648th career home run.
And now he trails the great Willie Mays by 12 as he gets one inside. Now, the way the Tigers pounded him inside the first game, you know he's got to be looking in there. And this one carries just enough into the seats. And that's his 4th career home run off Justin Verlander. As that's about 2 or 3 rows back in left field.
Here's Overbay. Hot shot up the middle, a base hit past Verlander.
Verlander continues his good hitting at Yankee Stadium as we look at A-Rod putting back the hit. You know, he has to feel good about that one. That's the best ball he's hit certainly since he's come back. As he now is also passed Stan Musial for 5th place on the all-time RBI list. He has 1,951 runs batted in.
Soriano swings and misses.
I was saying about Overbay as we take a look on Yes Mo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. There's the follow through, the swing. He thinks it has a chance, and it carries out of the ballpark. That kind of landed in the area where his 500th home run landed. Let's talk about Overbay. Overbay's actually hit over 300 at Yankee Stadium this year. On the road, he's barely over 200, but at Yankee Stadium, he's been very effective.
And Soriano continuing to struggle as he's looking for his 2,000th hit.
He's now 0 for 10 in this series with 7 strikeouts. And a lot of it has been on this particular pitch. Slider down and away. And out of the strike zone. He's got to lay off of it.
Soriano has now had 8 hitless streaks of 10 or more at bats this year, and his longest was 0 for 18.
You think it's the pressure going for that 2,000th hit?
He is 0 for 10 since 199.
Yeah.
1999. I don't know why you build up that much pressure for 2,000. I mean, it's a nice round number, but it's not $3 grand.
Or 4.
Yeah.
It's only been done 272 times.
Well, we know one thing, Kenny. He's a streaky hitter. He always has been.
Yes, he has been.
What gets him in and out of streaks? They've been trying to decipher that his whole career. You would think that home run has to be gigantic for Rodriguez. Has a 211 game suspension hanging over his head, which he's appealing. Has not played for the entire year coming back from hip surgery. Had a rough outing on Friday. That one is looped into center field. It is a base hit. Overbay was going, so he will head to third.
We'll take one more look, and here's Alex's reaction after the ball hits the seats. And you think about all the rehab time. You know, the pressure of, as Michael said, suspension looming over his head. He might not play next year.
He's probably thinking, when is my next home run going to be? So he hits one out, and on a more basic note, the Yankees need right-handed power.
Oh.
So first and third with one out, and here is Nunez chasing back Granderson.
Granderson with that loop in the left field. And you mentioned that Overbay was on the move. And Overbay, once he got to second base, he looked to see if the ball was going to fall in. You're that far. If it's caught, you're going to be doubled up anyway. Just keep on going to third.
That should get the run in. Jackson makes the catch. Tagging is Overbay, and it does get the run in. Sac fly for Nunez, and the Yankees have a 2-1 lead.
So Overbay, who's been hot, gets on base again, chased the third base, and then the sac fly from Nunez. Some good situational hitting there.
Here's Chris Stewart, number 9 batter for the Yankees. Playing catch with fielder is Verlander.
Well, the Yankees have the 2-1 lead. If you're thinking that Granderson might be stealing second, in this instance, I don't think so. I think the Yankees would rather have Stewart hit in this inning, maybe try and keep the inning going. If he makes the third out, you'd have Gardner leading off next inning. But if Granderson gets thrown out, then you have Stewart leading off next inning. So all these throws at first base, I don't really think Granderson is thinking all that much about stealing. I might be wrong. Who knows?
Strike 3, and Stewart is down low. But the Yankees take the lead, and it all started with a home run from this man. A-Rod with a home run, which is a relief for him and the New York Yankees. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. All right, so the Yankees have given Andy Pettitte a 2-1 lead on the Lincoln scoreboard. And Miguel Cabrera leads off. Pitch outside. 1-0.
Cabrera did something yesterday. He's done more than any other hitter in the big leagues. He's had 3 hits in the game, and one of those hits was a home run. He's had 9 games like that this year. 9 of them. That's not bad.
He's pretty good. There's a strike. Well, since his rookie season in 2003, Cabrera's had 76 games with 3 hits and a home run. Pujols has also had 76 games since that time. Next on the list is A-Rod with 63. Grounded to short, Nunez. Cabrera simply can't run. 1 away.
Well, it looks like he needs a day off in the worst way. Tigers go to Chicago tomorrow. There's no day off involved.
Well, Jim Leland has spoken with the doctors and the trainers. And he asked them, if I play him, can he get worse? And will it stop him from healing? And they said, no, it can't get worse, and it will not stop him from healing.
Their next scheduled day off is a week from tomorrow.
It's a good feeling for a manager. He's got 3-4 in his order that play almost all the time. Fielder never misses a game.
Was this 459th straight game, I believe, for him? He actually DH'd one of the games here. So it's kind of half a day off for Fielder.
They have 459, which is the longest streak of its kind in the bigs. And it's weird because you look at his body, and well, he was looking for a 9 or 10-year contract when he was a free agent. And the big concern was that's a body that's not going to hold up. Well, so far he's played every single game for the Tigers since he signed, and doesn't show any signs of slowing down.
You got a 9-year deal with him?
Fly ball left field. Soriano makes the play for the second out.
If I remember correctly, he was kind of a late signee as well.
Well, they were waiting for the market to develop, and then when Martinez got hurt. And Milwaukee's probably kicking itself because it decided it couldn't afford both Fielder and Braun. So they signed Braun to the long-term deal. And now with Braun's 65-game suspension, is he really going to be able to be the face of the franchise?
Well, they owe him over $100 million.
Yes, they do. And he's pretty much immovable. So you're going to have to somehow rehabilitate his image. All the other guys on that list, other than A-Rod, really not big stars. Some important players for the teams like Nelson Cruz and Johnny Peralta and Everett Cabrera, but none of them the face of the team. And Ryan Braun is the face of the team in Milwaukee. The 0-2. Grounded softly to third. And Alex boots it. Probably be an E5, we'll see.
I think it should be, and we'll check the last top. It kind of looked like it hit the lip. Looked like it hit the lip of the grass and came up and hit him in the heel of the glove. Right there where the dirt meets the grass. And Alex couldn't handle it. And Victor Martinez is going to be safe. We'll take another look. Does it? It appeared so, that it hit the lip. And that will affect that last top before it got to his glove. Well, maybe not. It didn't hit the lip, but it hit the heel of the glove, and that's an E5.
Pitch to Tuiasa Sopo was up and away.
Alex was out here about 10-15 this morning taking ground balls from Mick Kelleher. Getting ready for this afternoon's game.
Right before he hit the home run, I said he was hitting some balls out, but he was very patient in his approach in BP. First he was hitting line drives, then going to right field, then he started to pull a couple into the seats as a broken bat. One was a particularly long blast. He hit one over the Stanley sign in left center. Between Stanley and the Peanut Chews sign. So he exhibited some power, and a lot of the scouts I've spoken to say that he was on every single pitch in Chicago. He had a lot of high fly balls, which means that he just missed. And the home run he hit was a high fly ball, but it had the distance.
You know, he hit it to the right part of the stadium. And you know what? I think he kind of just missed that one too.
1-2. Could not hold up. Goes around. And a strikeout for Pettit. No runs, no hits, one error, and one man left. We go to the bottom of the third. Watch live Yes Network Yankee games on your PCs or laptops with Verizon Fios. Get a full season of live Yankee games on the go for just $29.99. If you're a Verizon Fios TV customer with Fios Internet, go to YesNetwork.com to get more information and subscribe now. Top of the Yankee order against Justin Verlander. Yankees on the Lincoln scoreboard lead 2-1. 1-0.
Well, maybe Gardner was going to test Cabrera at third base. Cabrera's already in on the grass. Gardner's got a 5-game hitting streak going.
Right back to Verlander. 1 out.
In fact, the top 3 hitters for the Yankees all have 5-game hitting streaks going.
Ichiro takes the strike. The 1-1.
Great camera shot. You can see how shallow that Tuiasosopo is playing in left field, and the deepest of the 3 was Torrey Hunter in right. Give Ichiro a little respect in right field.
Missed with the 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
You know, you're looking at that shot from left field. It kind of gives you an idea of what an outfielder's looking at, and it's really cool. I just kind of bring back memories. Just didn't want the ball to go over my head. It looked really silly when that happens.
Kenny, we have to send out congratulatory wishes to our buddy Sweeney Murdy, Yankee reporter for WFAN. His wife Jessica gave birth to Ryan Gabriel Murdy on August 10th. 8 pounds 10 ounces, 21 inches long. And that's a fly ball to center for the 2nd out. So Ryan joins little baby sister Cece. Congratulations to the Murdy family.
Be looking for a bigger house pretty soon.
Ryan made Dad miss the great trip to LA, San Diego, and Chicago because Dad had to be here just in case. Here's Cano. And there's a strike. Cano 16 for 75 with only 1 home run since the All-Star break.
Yeah, he's due to get it going, but this is not the type of guy you expect to begin a hot streak with. You're not looking for many 3-hit days against Justin Verlander.
Kenny, the only other non-pitcher selected as an All-Star this year with fewer than 2 home runs and an average that low, Buster Posey of the Giants. So 2 of the best players in baseball struggling.
As good as Verlander has been over the years, he's just 5-5 against the Yankees.
Hammered the other way, and that is going to be a base hit. It bounces into the seats for a double.
Well, there's one. Cano with somewhat of a defensive swing with 2 strikes. Still able to put it in play with authority and pick up a 2-base hit. The pitch is nowhere near being a strike.
And there's the contact with the Coors Light freeze can.
Somehow he got on top of that for his 22nd double of the year.
And here is Alex Rodriguez. A lot more cheers this time when he comes to the plate after hitting a home run in the second.
What, did you hear the grunt after Verlander threw that one? 98 miles an hour. Reaching back for a little extra here.
One and one.
Let's listen. Yeah.
Well, A-Rod has had a multi-home run game against Verlander.
He hit one in Detroit that I think just landed about yesterday.
Last 3 regular season starts against the Yankees by Verlander, A-Rod's hit a home run. There's a base hit inside first, and that's going to score Cano. Hunter gets the ball in, an RBI single for A-Rod. It's 3-1 Yankees. He had no idea where that ball was. He hit the ball and stood at home plate and didn't move.
Until he saw the first base umpire, Chris Conroy, give the signal that it was a fair ball. Now watch this. He hits it. He's looking up like it was a foul ball. Nah, it's a base hit. And collect another run batted in. That certainly was unusual.
That's weird. So Cano scores the 3rd run. A-Rod picks up his 2nd ribby. And some smiles on the Yankee bench. Overbay, fly ball, fairly deep left. Tuiasa Sopo in front of the track puts it away. But a 2-out rally, a double by Cano, a single by A-Rod, a 3-1 Yankee lead as we go to the 4th. 1-866-NY-QUIT for free help today. Justin Verlander is one of 2 pitchers to win the American League Rookie of the Year award with the Tigers. Who's the other? We will find that out in the bottom of the 4th. Benjamin Moore scoreboard, 3-1 Yanks. And the pitch to Perez is low, 1-0. Troy Benjamin and John Moore going to keep that up the entire inning. I think they are. There it goes.
There it goes. Alex Rodriguez and Lyle Overbay on the corners guarding against the bunt. With Perez leading it off here in the 4th.
Grounded softly to third. A-Rod fields, fires, got him. Good play by Rodriguez to get the speedy Perez.
It's not only the hitting, folks, going to determine how far A-Rod has come back from those hip surgeries. It's going to be defensive plays like this one. The quick feet, the strong throw. He's always had a good arm, and just in time to get Perez. Line it up, scoop it up, and throw it. And just got it there in time for the out. Another look. I thought he might go for the bare hand, but he uses the glove. It's just in time.
Pena takes high.
Is he out?
Boy,
that was close. No argument, though.
Two and one. Line to left field, a base hit. Soriano plays it on a couple of hops. So Pena, who was not in the original lineup, but Avila was scratched about a half hour before the game, is 2 for 2 now.
And over his last 38 games, he's at well over 300.
And Avila is in our injury report, brought to you by Montefiore Medical Center, Inspired Medicine. Hit in the match by a foul ball on Thursday, did not play on Friday, but he passed the concussion test. Returned to the lineup yesterday. He was scratched from the starting lineup today. So we hope that he's okay.
But Pena being a switch hitter gives Jimmy Leyland the option of playing him whatever he wants to give Avila a day off. And he doesn't have to worry about matchups. And especially the way that Pena's been hitting. Michael, you were talking about Iglesias, and we have been about his fielding, and we also talked about his hitting over 300. But when he was with the Red Sox earlier this year, he put together an 18-game hitting streak. And that has propelled him to that 300 batting average this late in the season.
He's the American League Rookie of the Month in June, where he hit 395 in June. Scored 17 runs as well. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. 2 outs.
Andy Pettit's second strikeout, and it's that cutter down and in. Iglesias over the top. And that's been a staple of Andy's career.
There's Austin Jackson. Fouls that one off. Count 2-1. Count 2-2.
You know, interestingly enough, with Jackson, you know how hot he's been in this series. On the season, he's hitting under 200 against left-handed pitching. And that's kind of strange for a right-handed hitter.
And that extends his hitting streak to 7 straight. So first and second, 2 outs, and brings up Hunter. Tigers have out hit the Yankees 6-5, but the Yankees are leading 3-1.
Surprising. I just think he was going to take the first pitch and decided, I'll just fake a punt here, make it interesting. Because with the 2 men on and he representing the go-ahead run and 2 outs, I think Torrey Hunter's thinking swing here and not bunt.
Well, you've got to pitch to Hunter because the guy on deck is Miguel Cabrera. Now 3-0.
And when this lineup turns over, starting with Jackson, the heat is on.
.89-mile-an-hour fastball, strike 3-1. Ground ball to second. Sounds like a broken bat. Cano makes the play, and Andy gets out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. We're going to the bottom of the 4th. It's 3-1 Yankees on Yes. one of 2 pitchers to win the American League Rookie of the Year award with the Tigers. Who's the other, Kenny?
I think it was 1976, Mark the Bird Fidrich, I believe. Yeah.
Pay the man.
Well, I was around then.
Boy, did he take baseball by storm.
Oh, he did. Unfortunately, he flamed out, hurt his shoulder, and only spent a few years with the Tigers.
Soriano hits one deep to left. Tuiasosopo back, track, wall, see ya. Welcome to the 2000 hit club. Doing it in style with a home run. Jeter's 3,000 was a home run. Soriano's 2,000, a home run, and the Yankees have a 4-1 lead.
Leading off the inning, slider that didn't have that slide to it. Now it has the glide rather than the slide. Soriano's first hit as a Yankee was a home run. And now his 2000th hit in the Yankee uniform, another home run. And he becomes the 16th active player with 2,000 hits. And the 272nd in Major League history.
That one is driven out to left field. Tuiasosopo there to make the play.
Soriano becomes 273. There had been 272. Here's that left field camera. Tuiasosopo running out of room, and one of those fans out there, lucky fan, has a 2000th hit. Yeah, I had that smile the first one. After that first one, way back when.
And a strike to Nunez. Benjamin Moore's scoreboard shows you 4-1 Yankees.
Home run power by the Yankees today. We're talking about right-handed power. They're searching for it all year.
Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. And he's tagged out by Pena. 2 outs. Let's take a look at Soriano's home run on one of our favorite toys, Yes View. Now let's whip it around right now. Whoa. Got in front of the plate. Nice. Count 1-0.
Yeah, we talked about how Verlander turned it around coming into today's game. A very effective game against Cleveland Indians. His last start. And previous to that, he had beaten the Washington Nationals. In those 2 games, he only allowed 2 runs. In his 2 previous games, he had allowed 7 and 6.
Swing and a miss. Stewart down on strikes. But Soriano hits his 2000th hit. This was his first one, September 24th, 1999. It was a home run. Now, all these years later, here's hit number 2000. Also a home run. Welcome to the club. Set here at the stadium, and look at Manhattan and Central Park as the Yankees lead 4-1 here at the stadium in the Bronx. Andy Pettitte still on the mound. He deals to Miguel Cabrera. One more note on Soriano: becomes the 19th player to reach the 2,000 hit plateau with the Yankees. Fouled away.
I know Derek Jeter is on the disabled list, but the top 3 hit makers that are playing right now are on the Yankees: Jeter, A-Rod, and Ichiro. Andy Pettitte now with a 3-run cushion.
Hammered down the left field line. It's a base hit for Cabrera. Playing it out there is Soriano. Let's see if Cabrera goes for 2. He is going to go for 2. The throw was cut off, and then they flip it to Cano, and Cabrera just gets in there. He is really laboring on the base paths.
This is going to be his 22nd double of the year, and it would have been a lot easier if it wasn't for that left leg that he's having problems with. And you can see he barely is going to beat the throw. Cano slaps the slapped it right on the bad knee. Soriano getting it back in. Cut off because it was offline.
Yankee bullpen starting to get busy. 91 pitches for Pettit. Kelly starting to throw. Now you know they want this game if they have Kelly up here in the 5th inning.
Well, a chance to take the series 2 out of 3. If you'd like to see Andy get through this inning and maybe a little bit more if he can. So the Yankees might not have to use that extra pitcher out of the bullpen, and Andy would have a chance for victory if they can hold on to the lead.
The Yankees don't have a day off until a week from tomorrow. As Fielder goes down on strikes. Big strikeout for Pettit.
Third strikeout. Bounces back from the leadoff double, but still not out of the woods. Got some tough hitters coming up.
And that's grounded through for a base hit. That will not get home Cabrera. And the throw is cut off by Overbay. So Martinez is now 2 for 3. And how far will they let Andy go?
Yeah, we're talking about how hard Victor Martinez has been. June 28th, he was hitting .225, but he's up near .400 since then. Heard me use the term escapability when it came to Andy Pettit, and that's because he was able to get double plays, strikeouts, or soft outs when he needed them. This is a situation where he could really use the double play. He got a soft out from Torrey Hunter to end last inning with a couple of men on base. A slow roller to second. Took just enough off a pitch to get him out in front and get the ground ball.
Perez is on deck. Two and two. This will be Andy's 100th pitch. Three and two. And the payoff. Walked it. Bases are loaded. Girardi's going to have to come get Andy. The Yankees need to start winning games. They have a 4-1 lead right here, and this lead is in serious jeopardy. So Girardi's going to go to what he thinks is a better pitcher, Sean Kelly. That's how close that 3-2 pitch was.
Yeah, he came in and with the breaking ball, and it was just low out of the strike zone. So Andy Pettitte's going to have to leave, despite the fact he's got a 3-run lead.
Joe Girardi makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. So Andy cannot get the win in this one, nor can he lose the game. 4 1/3, 101 pitches. And Kenny, we said when he was throwing 50 pitches in the first 2 innings, he's robbing himself of the 6th and the 7th.
Yeah, there's no way you can get it that much further in the ball game. And Joe Girardi knew that the bullpen was going to be at least multiple pitchers out of the bullpen for him today again.
There's a strike from Kelly to Perez.
Kelly, a strikeout pitcher, 45 strikeouts in his last 32 1/3 innings.
There's that pitch. He's been so great with it all year.
Quickly jumps out in front of the rookie second baseman.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. The killer slider gets Perez.
And this one wasn't even a strike. You know, sometimes the younger hitters, they let the pressure of the situation get to them, bases loaded, and we've seen this from Perez quite a few times in this series. He's now 0 for 11 in this series. There's the spin on the slider, and he couldn't reach that one.
Pitch to Pena, misses. Bases loaded, now 2 outs. Fly ball, center field, and Kelly has come on and done a job. He leaves the bases loaded. Andy's day is over, but we're just halfway through. Yankees up 4-1. GMC, introducing the all-new 2014 GMC Sierra. Incredible thinking in the form of a truck. Visit GMC.com for details. All right, so Sean Kelly gets the final 2 outs of the top of the 5th, leaves the bases loaded for the Tigers, and now the Yankees go to the bottom of the 5th, and Verlander will face the top of the Yankee order. Gardner, Ichiro, and Cano, and if anybody gets on, A-Rod. Gardner today, fly ball to right, and a tapper back to the mound. Joe's bunt takes high.
Now Verlander's only thrown 62 pitches here in the 5th inning, but the Tigers have their bullpen up. Now Benoit, he's the closer, but he generally gets up during the course of the game just to throw a few to the mid in case he's needed a little later on. He hasn't been in this series.
2-1. Tigers have a lot invested in Verlander. End of March, end of spring training, they announced an extension they signed with him. He signed with them through 2019. So over 7 years, they will pay him $180 million as a vesting option for 2020, which would take the total 8 years, $202 million. And the way it works, this year and next year, he'll make $20 million a year. Then starting in 2015 through 2019, he will earn $28 million. And then the options picked up in 2020, he'll get 22.
It's a lot of cake on your birthday.
But you don't only want cake on your birthday, right, Kenny?
Yeah, I want it every day. As if I could. You can't do that. That is quite an investment.
Especially with a hard throwing pitcher. Fly ball shallow left. Tuiasa Sopo puts it away.
Fans, Wednesday night, Michael Kay sits down with fan favorite Willie Randolph for a new GMC Presents Center Stage. A 6-time world champion reflects on his storied playing days with the Yankees and his managerial stint with the New York Mets. It's a new Center Stage Wednesday at 11, only on Yes. One of my favorite guys around, Willie Randolph. You must have had a good time.
He was outstanding, Kenny. I'm telling you, you got to watch that show. He really brought it. He had his A game.
I think Willie's working for his own show.
Why not? He's got all the stories. He's lived it. He's in-person witness to Yankee history.
He was there during the days of the Bronx Zoo.
The 4 championships during the Torrey years. He's got 6 World Series rings.
A lot of stories. There's only one guy who could have brought all those out.
And Johnny Carson's not alive. Swing and a miss. A weak late hack there by Ichiro. And he goes down on strikes.
Yeah, that was a changeup from Verlander, one of his many weapons. He's going to get Ichiro way out in front here. Off-speed breaking ball, a swing and a miss. It's one of the worst swings that Ichiro's had in quite a while. He's been swinging the bat very well. 5-game inning streak, closing in on 4,000 hits for his career.
Well, Verlander had to stand in front of his locker on Friday when the Tigers got into the Bronx and answer some wild accusations from Jack Clark, former Major League player who was a radio talk show host in St. Louis. Clark said he got that big contract. Now he can barely reach 92, 93. What happened to it? He has no arm problems. Nothing's wrong. It's just the signs are there. The greed. They juice up. They grab the money. It's just a free pass to steal is the way I look at it. And Verlander was ticked, according to
strong words.
Yeah, the Detroit News. He said, obviously, right now I'm pretty upset. Clearly, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Clearly, he didn't see me pitch. He called the comments moronic. He doesn't even know me. Verlander hesitated when asked if Clark's accusations might prompt action by Verlander's attorney, and then he later said, yeah, could be, yeah. And Albert Pujols, who was accused of using steroids by Clark, said that Albert's old trainer told him that he is going to sue Jack Clark, and Jack Clark lost his job over those comments.
It's almost like you better be in the room when it happens.
That's why I always laughed when people would blame the media. Well, you guys didn't write it in '98 when all those guys were hitting home runs. Well, you might have had suspicions. You just can't write something like that unless you have proof. And if you do write it, you're going to get sued. Grounded right side. And under the glove of Perez into right field. So Cano will reach, and that'll get A-Rod in at bat.
We'll see how they score this one. You know, if it is a hit, it's because Perez played it into a hit. This should have been a play that he would make. Goes to his left. He has a reputation as a good glove man. That last hop did not come up for him. Ball's going to stay down. And this one does hit the lip. And that's why the ball took an erratic hop.
Scored an E4.
Ooh. If you look at that replay, that might be the reason why it was a hit. It should be a hit, because it took an erratic hop.
A-Rod is 2 for 2. Swings at the first pitch and pops it up. Fielder puts it away in foul territory for the final out. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 man left. Let's go to the 6th. 4-1 Yanks. presented by AT&T. Here's your chance to celebrate the last season of a true Yankee great, Mariano Rivera, by sending him a thank you for all of the memories he's given us. Just go to AT&TMoments.com. We've had some moments in this game as Sean Kelly delivers, and that ball's fouled back. We've had A-Rod's first home run of the year. We've had Alfonso Soriano's 2000th hit, which happened to be a home run. Same as his first hit, which was a home run. We've had Andy Pettitte give the Yankees 4 1/3. Sean Kelly come out with the bases loaded and 1 out in the 5th and strike out a batter and get a fly ball to center. And Kelly's still in there. And he deals low to Iglesias. Now, we mentioned earlier the Yankees called up Dellin Betances today and sent down David Adams. I don't know if you saw these numbers, Kenny, but they're startling. In his last 30 innings, Betances did not allow a run. That's a span of 17 games, and during those 30 innings, he struck out 41 batters. Ground ball up the middle, and Nunez grabs it, gets to his feet, fires, but Iglesias is too quick, and he beats it out.
That would have been an outstanding play on most base runners, but as Michael said, Jose Iglesias has some speed, and he uses it to his advantage to pick up an infield hit. Ranging far to his left, unloading quickly, but you can see the speedy Iglesias on with an infield hit. And I told you earlier, Iglesias had put together an 18-game hitting streak with the Boston Red Sox. Only one hitter in the league had a longer one this year, and that was his, at the time, teammate Jacoby Ellsbury, who had a 19-game hitting streak.
There's Austin Jackson against Kelly. Now, we told you that Betances comes up. I don't know if you're going to see him today because this is a very high leverage game. The Yankees really want to win this game. But they sent down David Adams to make room. And when A-Rod hit that home run, it got me to thinking, so I looked back in the scorebook, Kenny. Do you realize that that home run is only the 5th home run by a Yankee third baseman this year, and the first one since David Adams hit one out on May 22nd?
And that was in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I remember that. Because I think Adams hit 2 that series, and those were his first 2 and only 2 major league home runs.
Yep. Boone Logan is up. So when you consider the Yankees are a game over 500, and from a power position, they've gotten 5 home runs now. Kenny, you weren't in Chicago with us, but I mentioned at the time Hawk Harrelson, their longtime broadcaster, came in and talked to John Flaherty and me and said, I can't believe the job that this team has done to be where it is with the numbers they have and the guys that they've run out there with all the injuries. As Jackson's down looking, I think you have to look at it that way. Nobody wants to say this is their limit, but you know, now they're starting to get players back that obviously have a track record.
Yeah.
But when you consider all the man games that they lost, that they've been able to, you know, at least say they're still in the race right now, it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, you know, everybody talks about the numbers that are missing for the players that quality players have been out during the course of the season. But what happens during these ball games is that the pitchers that are facing the Yankees, when they have all their star players in the lineup, they have to try. It's harder to navigate through the lineup. They have to throw more pitches. They have to be very careful. Against some of the backup players, here it is. See what you can do with it, and the pitchers can get through the lineup quicker.
Jory Hunter with a fly ball to left center. Going back is Gardner, and he makes the play on the run for the second out. That ball kept carrying. And Gardner got a good jump, covered a lot of real estate, and hauled it in for the second out.
Yeah, there's a lot of stadiums in this league that would have been a home run as Hunter hit it pretty well. You can see Gardner was playing towards right center field. Long way to go for it. But there was plenty of airtime for this one for him to run underneath and make the play. And Gardner, with his type of speed, covers a lot of ground, and he did so on that play for out number 2. Nice running catch.
Here's Miguel Cabrera, 1 for 2 with a walk. And pitch way inside. Threw a fastball by him, 1-1.
Yeah, with the lack of players like Teixeira and Granderson and Youkilis and A-Rod and Jeter for most of the year, the fear of giving up the home run is almost, I wouldn't say totally eradicated for a visiting pitcher or opposing pitcher. But it's not like you're pitching to somebody who's had 80 home runs the last 2 years, or somebody who's got over 600 on their resume, or Teixeira who's got over 300 on his resume. These are different type of hitters. So the pitchers can be more aggressive. And we always talk about the time of game, and the Yankee games have been a lot quicker this year than they have been in the past, because in the past the pitchers were a little bit more tentative, and the games would routinely go over 3 hours.
A 1-2. Just missed. Kelly wanted that call. Good fastball, but off the outside corner.
There's a setup from Stewart. Close, but not a strike.
Tried to get him to bite on the slider in the dirt with the count 3-2. So that's going to release Iglesias at first with a 3-2 count and 2 outs. Runner goes 3-2. Spoiled it. Fouled it away. And he walked him. So Cabrera is on for the 3rd time today. Iglesias moves to second. That brings up Fielder as the tying run. And Kelly will not face Fielder, as Girardi, managing this like it's the 8th inning, is going to call on Boone Logan to get Fielder. And we told you earlier, Fielder can hit lefties, but Girardi likes the chance better of keeping in the ballpark with a southpaw. So Logan comes on, Kelly departs. show as the skipper talks about the Yankees' bolstered lineup with the return of Curtis Granderson and Alex Rodriguez. Then stick around after for Yankees on Deck. It's all later after the postgame, only on Yes. So Boone Logan is ready, and he is going to face Prince Fielder. Fielder is 1 for 3 today. Logan deals. Fastball misses outside, 1-0. Fielder had an RBI single to center off Pettit in the first inning. Fly ball to left in the third, and then a strikeout in the fifth. And that was the last out that Pettit recorded. Two 2-0. He's 3 for 7 against Logan. 1 of the 3 a home run. Did he hold up? No, he did not. Count 2-1.
Fielder sitting on a fastball, 2 balls and no strikes. Instead, he gets a slider. Tries to hold up. Might have broken out of the strike zone. Might have been a strike anyway.
Little fastball by him on the outside part of the plate. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Yankees up by 3. Tigers have out-hit the Yankees 9-6. Fly ball, left field. Soriano. And Logan does the job. No runs a hit, no errors, 2 men left. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. Brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Some of the big moments in today's game. Alex Rodriguez with his first home run of the year. Does it in yes-mo and scores in yes-mo. And then Soriano gets his 2,000th lifetime hit. He does it with a home run. So two of the big blows in today's game as the Yankees are up 4-1. Lyle Overbay digs it. And that one's foul back, 0-1.
That yes-mo really lets you savor the moments, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
Wish I could live my life in yes-mo. The 1-2. Kevin Youkilis was at the ballpark today, and he might have helped out Overbay by playing some first base against some lefties. And Youkilis told Meredith that he's still hopeful he'll be able to play sometime in September after having back surgery. And Overbay down on strikes. Change up from Verlander. Youkilis said that Dr. Watkins, who had performed the surgery, said the quickest someone came back from this is 12 weeks. He said, I hope to be one of the quickest guys. And right now he's at about 7.5 weeks from the surgery. Here's Soriano. Broke it 0 for 10 with that home run. And the first base umpire, Chris Conroy, said that Soriano went around.
Well, if you're Alfonso, you got to figure it this way. The first 2,000 hits are the toughest. Now you just go from here. But it's never a good thing when you're down in the count to Justin Verlander, no balls and 2 strikes.
He's at 96 with that pitch. He's hit 98 in pitching to A-Rod. 96 right by Soriano for the second strikeout of the inning.
Yeah, he's got 7 Ks. 6 of the 7. Been swing and a miss, an overpowering pitcher. This one's kind of high in the strike zone and right down the middle. Just see if you can hit it, and Soriano could.
It's so strange, Kenny, because this guy's so dominant. And what is he, 5-5 against the Yankees?
Yeah, that's his record, career record. You know, you watch him pitch, and you know he's quick. He just wants the ball. I'm coming right after you get. Give me the sign. Let's go. Shakes off one. Now he's ready. A little herky-jerky. He said Granderson did not swing. It's Jerry Meals at third base.
Over the last 20 years, the Yankees, method of operation against great pitchers was to get great pitching themselves. They did that with Pedro Martinez a lot. Martinez was almost unhittable, but the Yankees would just outlast him. They'd throw Mike Messina against him, match 0 for 0, and then they'd get into the bullpen. Or Pedro would make just one mistake. Count 2-2 on Granderson. Granderson 1 for 2 today.
Verlander's given up a couple of home runs today. Also, the Yankees scored again when they gave up a single with 2 outs, so they made advantage, took advantage of a 2-out situation.
Granderson works a walk. That's the first walk issued by Verlander.
And with Nunez at the plate, I didn't mean to leave out the fact that he came up with a sacrifice fly. The Yankees got a situation where a sacrifice fly would have scored a run. That was back in the second, and he flew out deep enough to center field to score over base. So you got to take advantage.
That one is chopped over the head of Cabrera for a base hit. Granderson is going to go to third. The throw is cut off.
And here's another one of those situations. First and third, a runner in scoring position. Nunez gets the high hop over the head of Cabrera. And Granderson, with his speed, able to go all the way to third. Throw is going to be cut off by Iglesias. He would have been in there. But here's another situation that has presented itself, a chance to tack on a run against Justin Verlander.
Here's Chris Stewart. Trying to bunt with 2 outs. Count 0-1. We've seen him do that a number of times.
Yeah,
try to do it.
Yeah, I think he's trying to take advantage of Cabrera. By the way, Verlander's been pretty sharp with first pitch strikes, 22 out of 27. So he's jumped ahead on counts. He just hasn't been able to finish the hitters the way he has been in the past. Certainly not like his last start in Cleveland.
Warner goes from first. Foul back. Dialed it up to 97 there. He's just itching. Throwing again today before the game. I asked Girardi yesterday, will he be back at the end of the DL stint? He said yes, he's driving everybody nuts.
You can only ride that bike for so long.
Warner goes again, and Stewart gets hit.
And you know Verlander didn't want to do that. He is down, squatting on the mound, and that's the position he took after he hit Stewart with the pitch. Well, the count 0-2. He hits the 9th place hitter who he has struck out twice today. And Stewart, you know, he could have got out of the way of that, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. He took one for the club.
Now, if an umpire thinks you didn't, he doesn't have to give you first base.
No, he doesn't have
to. But it was inside. And he just turned and took it.
Now, he did turn and the ball hit him. If you stick your arm out,
right,
then the umpire is more apt to not give it to you.
So Jeff Jones with a quick conference, and we tell you this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
Here's another look at it now. He will turn, but it wasn't like he laid back to get out of the way. Now, if that's a fastball at about 98, I don't think he's going to stand there and take it. Doesn't wear an elbow guard.
So here's Gardner with the bases loaded. And there's a strike. Al Albuquerque lost the game on Friday. He's up in the bullpen. Two straight 97-mile-an-hour fastballs, count 0-2. Pitch 100. I think his first pitch was a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. And pitch 197 miles an hour. Hasn't had particularly taxing innings. Breaking ball, fouled away.
Yeah, one reason the 2 home runs that Verlander's given up both came to leadoff hitters in an inning. And in a way, it shouldn't be surprising because pitchers are trying to get that first guy out. They're more apt to give you something to hit. And the Yankees, A-Rod took advantage, so did Soriano. That's why it's not such a bad thing that in tight games you have your power hitters leading off innings. That was close.
Verlander did not believe it, and now the home plate umpire is saying, "Don't stare into me like that." And Brian Pena gets between the two of them.
That's frustration on Verlander's part, the way this game is going. That's Paul Emmel, the home plate umpire, who once the umpire takes off the mask, and we'll take a look at this pitch. And I thought it was high. You saw Pena bring it down. And I think it's just frustration.
Oh my God.
Oh, and you got an OMG out of it.
How did you miss that, he said. He gets that one. So one pitch later, he drops a breaking ball in there to get out of a jam. The Yankees leave the bases loaded. We're going to the 7th. 4-1 Bombers. Let's see how this plays out. Then they decide to talk. And then Jim Leland go, whoa, wait a minute. But they were both under control here. And I give Emmel credit. Verlander covered his mouth so nobody could see what he was saying. Obviously, he didn't say the magic word. They talked things over, and that was it. It isn't as if OMG turned into LOL, but it's all good.
And Leland was there to make sure that nothing out of line was said.
And so Boone Logan, who got the final out of the 6th, is pitching the 7th. The Cadillac scoreboard, Yankees 4 and the Tigers 1. The 1-0. There's a strike to Martinez, 1-1. This game has had a little bit of everything. You know, we promoted the Girardi show that's coming up for the post game, and I'll give you a little bit of something I asked Joe. I said, including today's game, there are 47 games remaining. How many games do you think you have to win to make the playoffs? 2-1. And he was very honest, and he gave a number that some might say is a little high. He said, I think we have to win 35 games. Now that's quite a run to go 35-12, and you see the way Joe's managing this game, bringing in one of his late inning relievers to get out of the 5th inning. He's operating as if I've got to start winning games and winning them consistently.
And taking serious.
Right. So 35 wins for the Yankees would give them 93 for the season. I don't know if you'll need 93, but it's going to be close. Yeah, it's going to be close.
Yeah. I think he's trying to make sure they make the playoffs.
Count is full.
So 35-12.
Yeah, that's a bear.
Yeah, it is.
Now the last time,
there's been teams that have done it, though.
Of course.
Yeah.
But you need good pitching. I think the Yankees have enough hitting now, but can they straighten their starting pitching out? The last time the Yankees had a record this close to 500 this late was in 1995. And that 1995 team, in its final 34 games, finished 27-7. And they got in on the last day by beating the Blue Jays, and that gave Don Mattingly his only playoff appearance and led to that scintillating 5-game series against Seattle.
That's the first year of the wild card.
Yes, they were the first wild card team. Right in on the hands of Martinez. He's a deep fly ball left, backing up Soriano, and he makes the play in left center for the first out. Well, tomorrow on Yes, the Bombers welcome MVP candidate Mike Trout to the Bronx as the Yankees and Angels start an extended 4-game series right here at the stadium. Now our coverage will start at 6 with Audi batting practice today and the Tri-State Ford pregame. It's only on Yes. Well, right now, Kenny, the second wild card would be Oakland if the season were to end today. And they are on pace for 91.5 wins.
Okay, so 93 would probably do it.
Right. Or I guess 92. Mm-hmm. You'd win by a half game. And those are the wild card standings right now. A lot of teams that jump, but a lot of them are going to be playing each other too.
Well, the Yankees certainly have a number of games within the division. And that starts again on Friday when they head to Boston, play the Red Sox weekend series after they play the Angels this week. It's hard to believe that the Angels are 9 games under 500.
They're trying to hold on against the Indians, bottom of the 7th. Well, now the Indians have caught up. It's 5-5. Did he check his swing? No, he did not. Chris Conroy said he went around, so Tuiasa Sopo down on strikes.
Hard slider for Boone Logan. First strikeout for Logan in the game. And this is what the slider's designed to do. You throw it about knee high. And that was even lower than that. Tuiasa Sopo chased it. Make it look like a fastball about right there. And then it dives out of the zone. And he didn't have the plate discipline and strikes out. Took a little off of that one.
Down 0-2. And the pitch. Fly ball left field. Soriano puts it away, and a nice inning in the third for Boone Logan. Retires the Tigers in order here in the seventh. At the end of 6.5, it's time for the seventh inning stretch. Yankees lead the Tigers 4-1, but we're going to stay right here and honor America in the Bronx.
Remove your caps and direct your attention to the area behind home plate. And welcome 3 honored guests of the New York Yankees. New York Air National Guard Senior Airman Kevin Grafer, who served in Operation Enduring Freedom. The United States Marine Corps Sergeant Delilah Bustamante, who also served in Operation Enduring Freedom. And United States Army Staff Sergeant Edgar Rosales, who served in Operation Iraqi Freedom. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. And now, please join Kate Smith's rendition, God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
And Meredith a little bit later on here in the Bronx. A good game, 4-1. And although he's at over 100 pitches, Verlander's still in there. Here's the Nissan game summary. Fielder with an RBI single, the only run for the Tigers. Alex Rodriguez solo home run, also an RBI single. Soriano a solo home run for his 2,000th career hit. Yankees have been out hit, but they lead the Tigers 4-1. It'll be Ichiro, Cano, and A-Rod. Fouls that away. Cadillac scoreboard 4-1. Yankees lead. David Robertson getting ready. He has really overpowered Ichiro today. And Suzuki now 0 for 4. MLB.com at bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At bat delivers Yankees baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Yankees.com for details.
Yeah, the high water mark this year for Verlander as far as pitchers in a game is concerned in Seattle. Safeco Field, 126. That was back on April the 18th.
It's like he's built for that, though.
Yeah, he's.
Cano waves through a pitch.
They asked Jimmy Leyland at time to time, how come you leave him in there so long? He says, because I like my job. Keep his best pitcher out there. Eight strikeouts on the afternoon for Verlander against 1 walk, but he trails 4-1.
Cano is down looking. 2 away.
9 strikeouts. This is a nasty hook. He misses the target, but he's still going to get the inside corner for call strike 3. Pena wants it away. He has to reach across the plate. Sometimes umpires won't give you that call, but it had plenty of plate. They're now 2 down.
Well, here's A-Rod. Hit his 648th career home run in the 2nd inning. A high towering drive into the seats and left. In the 3rd inning, he hit a ball down the first baseline, had no idea where it was, looked up, looked down, and then finally realized it was down the right field line. Got a single, a drive, and a run. One thing you can say about this guy, Kenny, he's a show. The home run, not knowing where the ball is, making the error, getting booed, getting cheered, getting booed, getting cheered. It's almost as if the baseball populace takes his temperature every single inning.
It's going to be this way for the remainder of this year, wherever the Yankees go.
Probably the remainder of his career.
Yeah. The last 3 times he's faced Verlander in starts, this is at Yankee Stadium here, a home run off. This one's in Detroit. This is the one that really went. 440. And 2nd inning today. Wasn't quite sure, but it had enough. Sometimes you let the pitcher supply the power.
Grounded to 3rd, backhanded by Cabrera. The long throw, and he took an extra base hit away from A-Rod. And a 1-2-3 inning for Justin Verlander. Nice play by Miguel Cabrera as the Yankees go down in order. That was ticketed to left field, but that glove got in the way. And then the strong throw to get Alex. We go to the 8th. Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Well, Kenny, it's set up for Joe Girardi. He has managed himself into his formula. He wants Robertson to get 3 outs here in the 8th, and then Mariano to get 3 outs in the 9th. Yankees have a 4-1 lead. You see what Robertson's done this year, all good. 58 strikeouts in 48 innings. Just 44 base runnings in 48 innings and a 1.69 ERA.
Yeah, but prior to Robertson, Kelly had to go into a second inning of work, an inning in the 3rd. The same for Boone Logan, an inning in the 3rd. As Joe Girardi has pieced it together to this point where he can get to his 2 guys that close out ball games. Robertson the 8th and Moe in the 9th.
Hyundai scoreboard 4-1 Yankees. Brian Pena will lead it off. Fastball high.
Pena's had 4 hits in this series, 2 for 3 today. He was 2 hits in the opening game of the series.
That one is driven to right field and deep. Ichiro turns and looks. See ya into the second deck. A home run for Pena. Now the Yankee lead is 4-2.
This series, he has not played like a backup catcher. That's his 4th home run of the season. That one kind of spun to the middle of the plate, and Pena, the way he's been swinging the bat, he's not going to miss. Well, he took his ace swing right there. Michael called it second decker.
Here's Iglesias. Pitch outside. One and one.
We're going to get another look at this one, and people in the lower deck are disappointed. No chance for the souvenir. That was some power.
Brought a glove and gets rewarded with a souvenir.
You think that was his sister sitting next to him? She had the glove too. Did you see that?
I guess.
Yeah, looks like a family affair up there.
We're on TV.
Instant communication, the age of instant communication.
2-2.
Those are some prime seats up there.
Nice seats.
Oh, yeah. Against this Tiger team, trying to race these last 6 outs, but you want to try and do it without anybody getting on base as efficiently as possible. It's the former Yankee Phil Koch up in the Tigers bullpen, the left-hander.
Just missed. Count 3-2. Grounded in the hole. Backhanded by Nunez. Sets and fires. Not in time. Iglesias gets a lot of his hits because of his speed. Just beat out a ground ball right there.
Well, that's his second infield hit of the day. Nunez sets and makes a good strong throw. Ooh, that was close. We might have to slow this one down and get a really good look at it.
Well,
yeah, he
good
beat
call.
it. He beat it. Yankees will not get that chance to erase the outs, would at least no runners on base.
Austin Jackson fouls it off.
Jackson has worked very hard with the hitting coach Lloyd McClendon. In fact, came into Detroit before this season even started during the winter and worked out.
Count 1-1. Two and one. And Robertson does not seem as sharp as he usually is.
He did not pitch yesterday. He pitched in the opening game and had a scoreless inning. A 1-2-3-8.
And he's got to get right here, Kenny, because there's really nowhere for Girardi to go unless he goes to an unproven kid like Betances. You're not bringing in Java. You've used Preston Claiborne too much.
Yeah.
You can't bring in Mariano this early. So Robertson has to straighten himself out. That's why only Mike Harkey is standing on that mound in the bullpen.
And as we mentioned before, anytime the lineup turns over for the Tigers, as Phil Koch is joined by Jose Veras, former Yankee, two former Yankees warming up out there. And anytime the Tigers lineup turns over, the heat starts to be turned up.
Torrey Hunter is on deck, and then Cabrera after him. Grounded to third, backhanded by A-Rod, fires to second, got him. Great play by A-Rod to get the speedy Iglesias. And Jim Leyland's going to go out and argue.
Now, Iglesias did protest the call of Will Little. This is going to be good. He's getting a little animated now.
Now we'll have to take a look. See if he was right to be angry.
Here's the throw, and
he was right to be angry.
He was right. He's in there.
What a play by Alex Rodriguez.
Very nice. Off balance throw across the body, accurately right to Cano, about neck high. But as you can see, watch the left foot. Foot's on the bag, ball not in glove.
So the Yankees catch a break. All right, now you can see here Emil say, all right, you've had your say, that's it, you're done.
I think they're still yelling at Will Little out there at second base. You know, by now he's got word that Iglesias was safe.
Right. Because for the visiting team, there's a video room right off that runway, maybe 10 feet away. And that's where the video coordinators work, and they probably just shouted he was safe. 0-2 to Hunter. Lurking on deck, Miguel Cabrera. That's the bad news. The good news is you don't have to face him in the 9th inning. Unless Robertson could get Hunter to hit into a double play.
And then you'd face him with the 2-run lead, leading off the inning.
Boy, Hunter put some tough at-bats together.
He's a veteran hitter. Having a good year. Hit 300 last year, hit 300 again this year. That is not a strike. It was a little cutter. Spoiled it. Once he committed. How many times have we seen the younger hitters like Iglesias or Perez swing and miss that very same pitch? But Hunter, with his experience, able to get out and at least foul it off.
Deep drive, center field. Gardner back, makes the play. Jackson was all the way around second. And now they're going to double him up. I think he thought that the ball was dropped, except that Gardner got the ball in to Soriano. So an inning-ending double play. Jackson got confused. He saw the ball lying there and thought that the ball had been dropped.
Here it is, up against the wall, makes the catch. Is stunned, flips the ball to Soriano, and that's where Jackson got confused. He saw the ball on the ground, thought it was missed. Instead, he's going to be doubled up, and the Yankees are out of trouble here in the 8th. Torrey Hunter's going to get into this pitch, hit it a long way to center field. Nice running catch by Gardner, and he is shaken up once he makes the play up against the wall. Then he flips the ball to Soriano to get it back in. He gets it to Nunez. It goes to Cano. Meanwhile, Jackson thinks the ball got away. He's tagged out at second for the double play. If you're scoring at home, why not? It goes 8-7, 6-4. That's the double play that ends the inning.
When the catch was made, he turned and headed back to first. Then he turned and saw the ball rolling around and thought that the ball was dropped and not flipped.
So he went back to second.
Right. A new pitcher for the Tigers. Verlander is done, and they turn it over to the former Yankee Phil Koch. So they do get the double play, and now Cabrera will lead off. And the Yankees will have at least A 2-run lead. 39th appearance for Koch. When Valverde pretty much imploded, you see the Hyundai scoreboard 4-2 Yanks. In the postseason, Koch got a lot of the closing opportunities. That guy gets pretty much all of the closing opportunities, and he'll try to nail this down. One and two to Overbay. Overbay 1 for 3, singled in the second and came around to score on the sac fly by Nunez. Now we have to see if Gardner's okay, because he was really shaken up by hitting into the wall that hard. High fly ball, deep left, backing up to Sopo. And he makes the play for the first out. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you by Hyundai. See how Hyundai dominates the competition during the Hyundai Smackdown going on now. And by Benjamin Moore for everything that matters.
There's the play once again. That'll shake you up. Maybe knock the wind out of himself. He gets the ball back in. Says, let Soriano throw it in.
And here is Soriano. Big moment for Soriano in the 4th inning. Hit a home run. His 3rd home run as a Yankee, but his 2000th career major league hit. And his first hit, also with the Yankees, was a home run. Up the middle, grabbed by Iglesias, and he gets Soriano for the second out. I think Soriano might have thought this ball was gone when he hit it. Oh, this is Hunter, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Hunter with the swing, and he's hit enough of it, but it's a long way to center field at any ballpark. And, yeah, he got it about 408. He needed 410, 412. Now he's not even sure.
Here's Granderson. So you can see that Robertson did not have his best stuff in that inning, but somehow escaped with the lead.
Well, some people will say it's better to be lucky than good sometimes. And he had a nice defensive play by his center fielder.
Now, if the Yankees win this game, they'll do something they have not done since July 5th, 6th, and 7th, and that's win a series. At that time, they took 2 out of 3 from the Orioles. That's their longest streak without winning a series since 1991. So the Yankees have lost 5 series in that time and split 3. And this would be a sweet one to get. Remember, the Tigers came into town having won 12 in a row. And to take 2 out of 3 from them would be quite an accomplishment. Now, if the Yankees don't score here, Mo's going to come in and try to protect a 2-run lead and face the beef of the order: Cabrera, Fielder, and Martinez. And he has blown his last 2 save opportunities. The 1-2. 2-2. Had yesterday off as the Yankees lost 9-3. But we'll be back on the mound in moments. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Granderson down on strike. So Koch works a 1-2-3/8. Now it's time for Mariano to try to nail this down. Yankees up by 2. Verizon Fios, making life more entertaining with America's fastest, most reliable internet that's powerful. Garrett Richards against Hiroki Kuroda. It all begins at 6. The BP show, 6:30 pregame, 7:07 first pitch here at the stadium. The Yankees open. The final pitch today is thrown by Mariano Rivera. To vote for the Chevy Player of the Game, visit votechevy.com. Results will be revealed in the postgame show. A lot of candidates for that. This is the matchup that kind of blew up in the Yankees' face on Friday. When with 2 strikes and 2 outs, Cabrera hit a game-tying 2-run home run.
And here's a look. Maybe the worst pitch that Mariano threw during the course of that at bat, and you can't do that with Cabrera. He launched it straight away center, and that tied the game. Yankees went on to win the next inning.
Now let's see how he goes about it this time. .35 out of 39 saves. The 0-1. Kind of as good as it gets. 2 future Hall of Famers on the biggest stage. 1-1.
Front door cutter hit the inside corner.
And the 1-2 just missed.
It's like a cat and mouse game with Cabrera. If he's looking where you're throwing, it usually gets hit pretty hard. It's hard to guard both corners.
That one is driven to right field and deep. There it goes. See ya. He got him again. And now it's 4-3 Yankees. Well, how often do you see that?
Out over the plate. And this time to right center field. His 36th home run of the year. That one was up a little bit where he could get to it. Got the arms extended. He knew it when he hit it. Had the sound, certainly the distance. The ball carries into the seats.
So now a 1-run lead with Fielder at the plate. Here's how Mariano reacted.
And once again, the worst pitch of the at-bat.
Yeah. 36th home run for Cabrera.
Yeah, you can't make mistakes to him.
Ball didn't really cut, Kenny. It stayed right out over the plate and high.
And it was up a little bit, too.
And that one is looped to A-Rod.
Got all in the hands of Fielder. This one did cut.
Here's Victor Martinez. 2 for 4. 2 singles, also reached on an error by A-Rod. Yankees 4, Tigers 3. Oh, 1. Driven deep to right field. It is a tie game. The third straight blown save by Mariano Rivera. An absolute crusher. A home run by Cabrera and now one by Martinez.
Well, Mike, you said he was going to have to face the meat of the order. And they've taken a bite of it. 2 solo home runs. That's the 10th of the year for Martinez. This is a cutter. The first one was a backdoor cutter for a strike, and then he tried to get in. There's the target. And Martinez was looking there, and he hit it. Once again, the pitch was up a little, elevated.
Here's Don Kelly pinch hitting for Tuiasa Sopo. And he cannot hold up. There's strike one.
And with disbelief, Mariano watches it disappear into the seats. These guys can hit.
It is an unforgiving first 5 players in that lineup. Kelly with a fly ball to left. It hits the seats out of play. It has been the most wondrous of seasons for Mariano Rivera. Before Friday, he had blown just 2 saves.
Fans are stunned.
Oh, he'd blown 3 saves because he blew that one Wednesday in Chicago. Wednesday in Chicago, Friday against Detroit here, and now Sunday against Detroit in the Bronx. It had been so easy in this his final campaign. 43 years old and making it look easy, and this is the first speed bump we've seen this year. Tap back to Mo. 2 outs. If you want something with a headline of amazing, we have stats that tell us that this is the first time in his career that Mo has ever blown 3 straight saves.
I thought I had heard that before when early this year when Jim Johnson blew 4 straight for Baltimore. And one of those had been against the Yankees, or maybe the 3rd or the 4th.
So a closing career that began in 1977. He was a setup man in '96. Never blown 3 straight. I said 77. He hasn't been around that old. 97.
Well, I would have faced him then.
Perez fouls it away. 2-2. Crowd again, and it happened on Friday, absolutely in stunned silence. Now trying to ratchet it up to get this 3rd strike and 3rd out. Perez just stays alive. Veras will come in if it's tied. Benoit if they go ahead. Two.
Now you can add on the fact that Mo has had to throw 22 pitches here in this inning.
Fly ball, right field. Ichiro is there, and that will do it. But for the first time in his illustrious first ballot Hall of Fame career, Mariano Rivera has blown 3 straight saves. Mind-numbing, and it began Wednesday in Chicago, Kenny.
Well, look here. He had 2 strikes on Adam Dunn, and he gives up a base hit, and eventually he's going to lead to the tying run. A game the White Sox would win in extra innings. And then, 2 nights ago, Miguel Cabrera with a home run and tied in the 9th inning. And then today, Cabrera with a home run. Closes. Tigers closed it within 1. Then Victor Martinez, another hot hitter, gets a high cutter into the seats. And now we are going to the bottom of the 9th in a tie game.
Kenny, before this weekend, Rivera had faced the Tigers 56 times, including the postseason, and he had allowed, in those 56 appearances, 2 home runs. This weekend, 3 home runs in 2 games. It's only the 3rd time that he's allowed 2 home runs in a game since 1996, and the 5th time in his career. Jose Veras will take over. In 25 years, the Yankees have had a pitcher blow 3 straight save opportunities just twice. May 30th through June 2nd of 2006, Kyle Farnsworth did it. Before that, you have to go back to 1988, April 20th through May 2nd, Dave Righetti did it. But with all due respect to those gentlemen and everyone that's come before, one of the greatest closer in the history of the game of baseball gets rocked 3 straight games, it kind of opens your eyes. Kind of notice. Don Kelly, who pinch hit for Tuiasa Sopo, is in left.
did not get the cutter down. At least those 2 pitches. Here's the pitch to Martinez on Yesview. We mentioned the fact that it was up, and you can see that's maybe a little above belt high. And it kind of tells me he was looking in there because he took the first cutter over the outside corner for a strike. Didn't even move. And so he's looking inside, and he got one that was up and in, and he just turned on it.
Great 2. That one's driven out to right field. Giving chase is Hunter on the track. He makes the play in front of the wall to take an extra base hit away from Nunez.
Torrey Hunter showing some of the form that he had used for many a year, winning 9 consecutive Gold Gloves, basically when he was a center fielder in Minnesota. But this time using the speed that he still has to run this one down. Made it look easy, going to the gap in right center field. That's what he basically has been in the outfield. The name on his back, and he's been a good one. Running down fly balls. Nunez thought he had an extra base hit. Instead, he gets his feelings hurt. Hunter on the move. Gathers it in.
Vernon Wells will pinch hit for Chris Stewart here in the bottom of the 9th. Game tied at 4. The third baseman Cabrera almost standing on the line. The outfielders playing very deep, guarding against the extra base hit. You know, watching Mariano his entire career, what makes him different than other pitchers is when he blows a save, usually think of 2001 Game 7 bloopers, broken bats.
Yeah.
He usually doesn't get hit hard. A home run on Friday, 2 home runs here today. Count 2-1. So the Yankees get Jabba Chamberlain up to pitch the 10th if there is a 10th. Miguel Cabrera is only the 5th player to ever have multiple home runs against Mariano Rivera, and the first one to do it in consecutive at-bats. Two. We hate to keep giving you these stats, but with Mo, I mean, we've never seen this before. He had never given up 2 home runs in a save situation in his life. He did it twice as a starter, once in a blowout, and once in a tie game. High fly ball, deep to left, but hooking foul.
Wells had a good swing against a breaking ball early in the count and missed it. This one was an even better one to hit, but he knew he had got there a little too quickly. Pulled it foul. Let's see if that changes Veras' plans here for the rest of this at bat. He's got a pretty good splitter that he uses as a changeup.
Strike 3, Wells now looking.
Went for the fastball. Well located, knee high on the outside corner. After hanging the breaking ball, you can see the grip. gone with the heat. That one tails back over the corner, knee high, and it was a very good pitch. Sometimes when you hit one well and you hit it foul, that's the only one you're going to get.
One and 0 to Gardner. Romine will take over behind the plate after Wells pinch hit for Stewart. That one's driven deep to right field. There it goes. Yankees win 5-4. They're stunned in the top of the ninth, but they get it done in the bottom of the ninth inning as Gardner hits it out to win the game 5-4.
Second time in this series that Brett Gardner has delivered the game-winning hit. Second walk-off of this series.
And the Yankees win a series for the first time since the beginning of July. Boy, did they need that. Meredith is there with Brett Gardner. Meredith?
Brett, once again, the difference maker. In this one, when you stepped to the plate against Veras, what was going through your mind? What was your approach in that at-bat? Take us through it.
The last one, I couldn't hear you. Sorry. The last one?
Yeah, what was the approach in your at-bat?
You know, just go up there and try and get a good pitch to hit. First one was a little down and away, and he threw me a fastball right down the middle.
Now, you're not a guy that's typically known for hitting home runs. You're known for your speed. Does it add to it a little bit to end it like that for you?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, that's the first time I've ever done that. It might be the last, so...
Brett, you getting used to that at all?
I don't think so, but it definitely feels good.
How important was this win for this team to do against a Detroit team that came in playing so well?
They're all big. Facing a guy like Verlander, it's hard to get a win, and our bullpen wasn't able to hold it, which doesn't happen often at all, and thank goodness we won.
You look at it as an offense. What is it like to be able to pick Mo up, who's struggling right now in that ninth inning?
Well, I said it 2 days ago, and I'll say it again tonight. He probably won't do that again all year. You know, it doesn't happen often, but I'm glad we could pick him up.
Brett, thanks for the time. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Michael, send it back up to you guys.
All right, thank you, Brett, and thank you, Meredith. And stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. Here it is, Kenny.
Here it is, the game-winning home run. Brett Gardner, not only does he hit a home run, it's his career-high 8th home run in a season. And this one's going to give the Yankees the victory. Touched off. Well, we had some power in the last inning here at Yankee Stadium today. Gardner with a classic swing. He knew it right away. The Tigers start walking off the field as he trots around the bases. Yankees win it 5-4.
What a ball game. Had everything. Unbelievable. So the Yankees exhibit some power. Soriano, his 2000th hit, a home run. A-Rod, his first home run in his comeback. And then Gardner, the walk-off, and some of it is muted because of the struggles that continue with Mariano. But he gets a Gatorade bath to celebrate.